Just taking a quick look at the C300. This is a brand new model from Anker, and this form factor is just awesome. So it's tall and narrow. You know, we will talk about the advantages this has here in a second. Let's talk about all the specs here because, you know, they're saying that you can travel lightly with this, but you're still going to be able to power, yeah, it's still going to give you big power and still, you know, be able to power all of your portable devices. So, you know, what are we talking about with the specs? In fact, 288 watt hours. Yes, it is an LFP battery. And the name 300, yeah, it comes from the inverter. So this thing does have an inverter, 300 watts continuous. Now they do advertise the surge pad, that's 600 watts. That's the voltage dropping feature. If you don't know what that is, don't use it. Don't use it, basically. And they're really saying that the main appeal with this product is it's 15% smaller than similar power stations in this size class. And of course, all those are small to begin with. So I guess it's going to be small enough, light enough for you to actually put this thing around your shoulder and just carry it that way. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I wouldn't recommend doing this because this is still pretty heavy. I mean, this is actually, it's 9 pounds. And, you know, that would be okay for like a short amount of time, but I don't know if you really want to go on a hike with 9 pounds around your shoulder. Now, there is like a little built-in handle. Or, you know, this form factor actually, you know, you might be able to tuck this thing into your backpack. But if you do want to do the shoulder strap, I got some bad news for you. In fact, you don't get it. You don't get it at all with this product, which is just crazy. You know, first of all, they want to charge you $30 for this thing. And second of all, you're paying a lot of money already, aren't you? You're paying a lot of money. So, yeah, they should have included this strap, especially since, you know, the product has the hook on it. So you're paying a lot of money for this product. You open up the box, you're looking at this thing, and you see those, you know, you see where the strap is supposed to connect, and there's no strap. And one thing you want to note is that in a lot of these images that they show this thing with the strap, they're not showing the C300, they're showing the C300 DC. This is actually a completely separate model. So it's kind of weird that they decided to both call them the C300. I guess because they're saying the C300 DC can still do 300 watts output, but that's the combination of all the DC outputs, the 12 volt, the you know, high power USB-Cs. Whereas the regular C300, the one we're taking a look at in this video, they're just mentioning the inverter spec. Of course, you can do even more. You can do almost all the same DC power. But here's the thing that you really want to note, right down here, the size and weight. So as you can see, it's not just the fact that the DC is lighter. It's physically like almost 2 inches smaller in every direction. So I would kind of highly recommend going for this model if you do want to do the shoulder strap route. You know, I mean, hey, unless, I don't know, maybe you got like a lot of upper body strength. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work too well with this 9 pound C300. Now, the other advantage of this form factor is the footprint, right? So it's not going to take up a lot of space on your desk because it's taller and narrower than basically every other model in this class. So, you know, if you don't have a lot of desk space, there's another appeal here, isn't there? Now, let's talk about the charging because actually for such a small unit, this has really good charging specs. So number one is the AC outlet here. Yeah, 50 minutes. It does have a bidirectional inverter in it. So you're going to be able to pump big power into this thing. Now, the only thing that's weird is this note up here. You know, it says that it does not include a charger or, or any cables or chargers. So I hope that's got to be wrong, right? I'm sure they give you this cord. But, you know, I guess primarily they want you to use the USB-C. And in fact, this has those new 140 watt power delivery USB-C ports. Actually, there's 2 of them. Now, there's only one that you can actually charge. It's this one that's kind of set into the product there. You can see that. And it's also, this is the solar input. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. So yes, there are 2 USB-Cs that are each rated for 140 watts. So, but yeah, only one of them you can do the input on. And then there is a 12 volt socket right here. Yes, so this can do the 12 volt stuff. And just like all the other Solix products, there's a spot for some barrel ports, but we don't get them. We don't get them. Now let's talk about that solar input, 11 to 28 volts. And yeah, under the cover there, it is an XT60. So this is awesome to get a real solar port, you know, in addition, of course, in addition to that. And a few last little details is, yes, you can use the app with this thing. And there is a UPS, 10 millisecond UPS, in fact. So a good spec on there. And of course, yes, it does have the light. You know, this one has the traditional one that's built into the front. Now, the C300 DC, that one actually has a unique setup. It has a pop-up light. So, and as I mentioned, there's actually a lot of differences with the DC model. So maybe I'll do like a follow-up video on that model.